The NXT numbers are up. They've got a small boost from last week, and that is the good news for WWE. But the bad news for WWE is that NXT has actually lost to AEW Dynamite for the first time in over 6 months. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Welcome back to the channel. In AEW, they've not had many wins over NXT. In fact, they've not had a single win over NXT since early November 2024. But they've got a win here. They've narrowly beat out NXT this week by about 20,000. And is this a sign that things could maybe change? Look, I don't expect AEW to get into 700, 800, 900. I'm not expecting them to hit the million club again. But is there a sign that AEW is beginning to at least close the gap to WWE? Certainly in terms of, I think, quality of shows. I mean, right now, AEW shows are pretty shit, but WWE shows are fucking god, almost unwatchable. And I just think even when you look at the mindset of fans and the common belief is that people have says AEW's been getting better lately. Tony's been booking better shows.
He's cooking.
Whereas everybody seems to be, well, not everybody, but most people seem to be in agreement that right now WWE is god awful.
No, WWE is god awful. I mean, look at the state, man. That Jordan Grace promo on NXT was brutal. I mean, it literally is just the vacant guy on season mode talking back in the day. Stephanie, I deal with fatal influence, then I take you on. You good champ. But I will beat you at WWE Battleground. I mean, who cares, man? Absolutely awful.
Just a big, muscled up, roided fucking woman with a manly voice.
And the platforms she wears, man. Absolutely cringe. But, I mean, as much as I wanted Moxley to lose the championship, I think a big factor of this is the fact you got a world title match inside a cage on Dynamite. I mean, what were you getting on NXT? It was what, Jordana Grace and Stephanie Fouquet against Fatal Influence, or whatever they're called.
Boggin, right. So for the Tuesday, May 13th edition of NXT, 8 o'clock to 10 p.m, it got 664,000 viewers on the CW network, which is up 2% on last week's 652. So they did go up 12,000 views from last week's show, but still not enough to beat AEW Dynamite. This week they did a 0.15 in the 18 to 49 demographic, but last week they only did a 0.14, so they're up 7% on last week. So they are up on last week's rating, but, you know, small margins, and unfortunately for NXT, AEW Dynamite actually got a half-decent rating, and they got a half-decent gain. And it's been coming because we have seen Dynamite get close to NXT, and we have seen the Dynamite rating slowly creep up. They had a period where it went up 5 weeks in a row, and then I remember that 1 week where NXT did a pretty poor rating. Dynamite just flopped for some reason and did 593. They absolutely dropped the ball. But now we're seeing that Dynamite, you know, are maybe heading in the right direction. Could I even say they've got maybe a 700k show in their future?
Here, maybe. I mean, according to some people, they're already over $1 million with the Max deal. But a guy that's no doing at Max anymore. What about The Undertaker? He was on this NXT. He was in a backstage segment. The Undertaker is getting smoked by Dynamite. I remember the good old days when they whipped out The Undertaker. It felt massive. It felt big. See now, Triple H has killed the business. And but this is Shawn Michaels. Who gave Shawn Michaels free reign?
See, when NXT ends, there's 3 names that pop up, and Triple H, Paul Effect's one of them.
Right. Vince Russo said it on his podcast. I was listening to it earlier. He's like, why in the fuck would you want your name associated with this shit? He's fucking right.
Who the fuck's Lee Fitton?
I don't know, who is he?
I reckon Triple H just puts his name up there so that if anything goes wrong, Triple H can be like, it's that guy.
But if anything goes right, it was me.
Yeah, so there was Pacers versus Cavaliers game on during NXT. That did over 1 million in the ratings and whatnot. But look, there's always competition on more often than not. Every other program on TV is competition.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to make excuses here.
No, there is no excuses.
There was basketball on Wednesday night, and that didn't stop Dynamite from beating WWE. So
look at NXT. I mean, you've got Ethan Page brawling with Ricky Saints. So where have we seen that before?
Yeah, where have we seen that before? But yeah, you look at the numbers then, up from last week's, but down from Stand and Deliver, the post-show after Stand and Deliver. And you know what? Just looking at these numbers, the projection for 2025 would appear to continue to go down. But is this not really poor that the rating? I remember when they moved to CW and they were expecting over 1 million. They never got 1 million. They got that like one show that debuted, and it was very close to breaking the 900k. Very, very close. Then the second show was a little bit under. Since then, they just haven't been able to get anywhere near that again. But I don't know. You just look at the performances. Like, start of the year, the Rock was on NXT, got a little bit of a boost, but the closer they got to Mania, the closer they got to Stand and Deliver, man, the ratings just went down, and I think that's poor. That you're getting to like the biggest show of the year, you're building towards WrestleMania, you're building towards Stand and Deliver, and that's when the ratings are going down. That should be when the ratings are going up.
Yeah, but look at what we were saying heading into it. There was no matches announced, there was no build.
I thought Stand and Deliver this year was awful.
It was.
And who do you want to blame? Do you blame Triple H? Do you blame Shawn Michaels? Is it WWE collectively? Do you blame Ava Raine? Do you blame The Rock? Do you blame TKO? Do you blame Nick Khan? Who knows? Anyway, let's look at the clips from this week's show. What I did notice is they have uploaded the clips, and then they've uploaded full highlights, and then they've uploaded top 10 moments. Are WWE milking this? Are WWE doing everything they can to try and generate views? Which here, I'm not saying I blame them. It's the name of the game here on YouTube. But is there need for top 10 moments and full highlights?
Well, I watched the full highlights and I watched the Joe Hendry full segment. But you're right, there ain't any need for top 10. Honestly, see when wrestling was good, I think top 10 moments is warranted. See when it's this fucking bad, you can't even get one good moment, let alone fucking 10. So why are we even bothering?
See when wrestling was good, you'd be leaving great moments off the top 10.
Yeah, but also like the highlights should cover it.
No, I agree. Just don't really know if that is necessary. But anyway, so full highlights and top 10, we're not going to look at them. So in first place, we have Stephanie Fakir and Jordan Grace taking on Fatal Influence, 214k. WWE have this thing where they just put full match in, and it seems to get the most views.
Yeah.
Maybe AEW should try that on their YouTube page, because I know they're not great at labeling and titling their feeds. Maybe they need to try this WWE tactic and just go full match with a lot of their matches.
I'm kind of confused why the full matches do so well, though, because I feel like...
I think if you wanted to watch the full match, you would be more likely to watch the full show.
Yeah.
And if you're checking clips and highlights, then that tells me that you're less likely to want to watch a full match because you didn't watch the full show.
Yeah, that's
what I don't know if that's... Am I wrong for thinking that,
no,
or do you think the same?
You're not, but... I mean, it would make sense if you're getting, like, John Cena against CM Punk on Raw. But we're talking about tag team matches here with, throw some throwaway talent in there. Some decent talent, but but it seems to be a trend. It's not a coincidence. It's definitely a trend across the board.
Yeah. Second place, full segment, Joe Hendry verbally cuts down Trick Williams. That's got 132k.
He did cut him down.
Yeah, I cut him down like a tree. You know what? I'm not gonna just kiss the guy's arse. It's not bad, but I expected Joe Hendry to get more than this.
Yep. I mean, is it TNA Championship contract signing? Big Joe on the front cover.
132k. I think we've seen better for Joe Hendry, definitely. Third place, we have NXT champion Obafemi annihilates Charlie Dempsey. 92,000, well over a day ago. In fact, this is close to 2 days since this been uploaded. That to me is a sign of how poor wrestling, NXT, and the so-called stars and world champions are when you're not even breaking 100k on YouTube. Like it's
no, it is. I mean, Obafemi's crap. I mean, like I said, he's kind of like
not
good
at all.
But we were talking off air about big fucking Conrad Thompson or the invasion finish.
Well, we'll get into that in a minute. Fourth place, Stephanie Fakir and Jordan Grace, 89k. And 89k for these four women, yet the same four women did 214k in the main event. So yeah, it just goes to show that having the full match there matters, but there's just nothing interesting that happens. Like, you know, it's not like, oh, there's something, they're actually doing something, or there's an interesting thing, or there's like an activity going on. It's just, oh, they stand in the ring with a microphone and fucking talk. It's like, even like feuds like MVP and Matt Hardy, remember they would have like the wee basketball thing, or you look at Triple H Steiner, they're doing the pose down, you know, there's like actual things that they were doing.
Aye, but these marks hate that. They hate that. They just want wrestling. They know, oh, guys showing their muscles off. We don't want that. We'd rather the women do it. That's what they want. Honestly, they just want wrestling, fucking wrestling. But right, I just
right. Well, last place. Miles Bourne earns a statement win over Ethan Page. Not quite sure who Miles Bourne is. He might be that guy that's getting the title shot against
Do you know he's deaf?
I didn't know that. Here, 62k. I mean, he might be deaf. Hopefully he's blind, though, if he has to look at that number. Shocking. Look, this Miles Bourne guy going fucking nowhere. I don't care if he's deaf, mute, or full volume. The guy sucks. NXT sucks. These numbers absolutely suck. This is a dead company. People like it, and I accept that the pacing in NXT is way better than SmackDown and Raw. The women in NXT are way hotter than the women in SmackDown and Raw, but that is pretty much, I think, where the positives end.
No, you're bang on the money, and it's like sport. It's like, see, the third division or whatever, or like the third tier or whatever sport, it's only really as good as the ones above it. You know what I mean? It bleeds its way down, and when the top two are shite, NXT's always going to be limited. But yeah, back to Conrad Thompson, right? That stupid fat fuck bashes Vince McMahon's usage of like WCW and ECW talent in the invasion, right? Oh, he should have paid billions and millions to get these guys at their Ted Turner contracts to bring them in, right? Here we've got in 2025, Triple H has essentially got free reign to all the TNA talent that he wants, right? You get Joe Hendry, a genuine fucking draw in 2025, off his own accord, by the way, no machine behind him, just a shitey green screen on Arthur's Hill in fucking Edinburgh with his theme song, he's made it work, and this fucking big-nosed twat has got him down in the depths of NXT. Damn whip. You know what, this guy should be on the main roster. Look at the actual misusage here of TNA. I get it, right? TNA in 2025 ain't WCW 2001. I totally understand that. But is Joe Hendry not completely and utterly above NXT?
I would say so.
He had a WrestleMania match against Randy Orton, right? Everybody knows Joe Hendry, right?
The more appearances
is almost... I don't want to say he's ingrained into American pop culture, but he's more ingrained than all these other jabronis.
I actually think WWE's dragging Joe Hendry down.
Yeah.
I think the more Joe Hendry appears in NXT, I think the worse it's doing for the guy.
No, they're completely misusing this TNA partnership. Like, they've got this guy who, you know, it's like, you look at the shitey fuse that, like, guys like Fraxium, guys like, I mean, the Gunther, the former world champion, get on Netflix, the USA Net. See if you stick Joe Hendry, right, in a segment with John Cena, it's going to do well. You know what I mean? It's absolutely going to do well. So yeah, it's funny how McMahon gets called out for his misusage of stuff in the past, even though he did the best with a bad bunch because he didn't want to go over the odds. But here's Triple H, who's actually got, you know, open access to all these guys, and look what he's doing with the guys for TNA. Oh, we'll bring you in onto NXT. You job it to all our talent and we'll send you some fucking Diddy person to TNA.
Well, you know what? A year ago, Joe Hendry said he was pretty confident that he would have a match with John Cena over the next 18 months. So we're going to see whether that happens or not. Cena, not many dates left in his wrestling career. Is he going to use one of them to wrestle Joe Hendry? Not entirely sure. But
if he's facing R-Truth, he can face Joe Hendry.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing, right? You don't even have to waste 2 dates to set that up. Why can't you just have Joe Hendry be on Saturday Night Main Event and confront Cena after the R-Truth?
Oh, yo, but see Cody Rhodes, right? That ship is sailed, right? He's a Diddy, man. Who benefits more for dethroning Cena? Cody Rhodes or Joe Hendry?
Joe Hendry.
See Cody Rhodes, right? He got the rub off Dwayne. He got the rub off the Roman Reigns title reign. He won against Brock Lesnar. He beat Seth Rollins 3-0. He won 2 Rumbles back to back. He's main evented about 12 Manias back to back. He does not need to end John Cena's heel title reign. That needs to be for like a Braun Breaker, a Joe Hendry, someone that's got the future ahead of him, not some crying, shitey, neck tattoo, fat father, polka dot, jabroni, pish brother, weirdo brother, you name it, brother. Fuck Cody Rhodes. I can't stand him. Book Joe Hendry against Cena. I'll be a happy man.
Anyway, guys, NXT defeats AEW. Numbers are in. NXT, they are not able to beat Big Tony Khan's company. 664,000 for NXT, and that lost to the 682,000 from Dynamite. So Dynamite wins by 18k. We'll do a breakdown of the Dynamite rating. We'll dissect it as well, and we'll look into that. And we're going to be interested to see if Dynamite can keep this momentum going. It's 1 week of beating NXT. Can they make it 2 next week? We're going to have to wait and see. Will NXT bounce back? We'll have to wait and see. But that's it. Till next time. Peace.